Guys, our feature agent said, we gotta do an episode on Jack Joyce. I said, okay, who's Jack Joyce? She said, he's like the guy who kind of built the world I was so lucky to have grown up in. He played an enormous role in what Marco Island is today. I said, wow, that sounds like fun. Let's do that story. This is Caitlyn Sierra. Caitlyn's childhood on Marco was like something most people could only just imagine.
People come here to vacation and save up all of their money all year long so that they can come and stay on Marco for a week. And this is where I grew up.
And this is Jack Joyce. If not for Jack, Caitlyn's childhood may have been so different. And he may just be the one person who believes in Marco Island more than just about anybody in this world.
We oftentimes refer to Marco Island as the last island paradise.
I just spent every waking moment at the beach or on the boat or on a bicycle. I mean, we were able to do anything.
Back in 1963, when the Colliers and the Mackle brothers teamed up to develop Marco Island, young Jack was up in Boston selling homes that were to be built by the Mackle brothers on Marco. The plan at first was to sell Marco as a retirement community, the size of this entire island.
That was their business, okay? Building retirement communities.
Jack's up there in Boston trying to sell these homes to retirees. But think about it. Firstly, there was nothing there, barely even a bridge.
One car wide swing bridge that came across. When a boat comes through, the man went out and opened it manually.
In addition, it was a remote island that nobody had ever heard of or seen or been to, no pictures to show, nothing was even built. So how in the world do you get a retiree to take that risk? Jack was starting to think that Marco was not for retirees.
What we had was a deserted island, which was basically swampland.
So these people weren't willing to risk going to this random remote island.
Jack and his team up in Boston and 28 other offices worldwide were trying to sell the Mackle brothers' vision of a retirement island. It was a struggle, but then one night, Jack wakes up with a thought.
He woke up at 3 a.m.
And said, we're talking to the wrong people.
Completely changed the marketing plan.
Jack thought to himself, this isn't a retirement island. This can be a slice of paradise. This is probably going to be the most unique island in the world where most everybody's got a boat right in their backyard. Amazing wildlife, beautiful waters, beautiful climate. So Jack started telling people exactly that. But to people who had a little more risk tolerance and a little more time to be patient.
Mackle then came to him and asked him how he was selling so many houses. And he was like, I changed your sales pitch.
Jack and his Boston sales team became Marco's #1 sales office in the entire world, selling over 1,000 properties onto the island of Marco.
So we can blame all of the Boston people on Jack.
With those numbers, it might be fair to say that Jack believed in Marco more than anybody. And most importantly, Jack believed in the Mackle brothers.
This is huge, huge. Mr. Frank Mackle became my idol. When he told me something, you could take it to the bank.
And Jack believed in the plans, the thinking that went into every inch of the island, and they stuck to every single inch of that plan.
You had to trust the fact that all that we said it was going to be would come to pass.
His drawing, how good was it?
Probably perfection, absolutely perfect. If you picked up the map today and dropped it on Marco Island, it's identical as it was planned 63 years ago.
These cheeky huts you see at Marco Marriott were Jack's idea. And this world-famous Marco Island mermaid was Jack's design.
And after the third brandy Alexander, I suddenly said, I got it. So I grabbed a napkin and I sketched it, a mermaid. A mermaid swims out of the ocean, and we'll call her Marco, the Marco Island mermaid.
I say that had it not been for Jack's little idea at 3 in the morning, your entire life would have been different.
Totally different. I wouldn't have moved here.
You wouldn't have moved here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
100%. My parents would have never come here. Honestly, it wasn't until I left and I moved to DC after college that I realized how good I had it. And coming home, I would come here and I'd be like, why did I leave?
It must be so rewarding to drive on that island knowing that when you were telling people what it's going to be, it was just a road and swamp.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle that's happened never before and never again. It's exceeded anybody's expectations. Mr. Frank was ever to come back today, he would be astonished. Everything that we proposed and told people that it would be, it's far exceeded everybody's expectation. There can never be another place like Marco.